welcome to today's live stream. I hope you are feeling well. Oh, we are back together again. I often ask myself, what is this? Is this a radio show? Is it a TV program? Or is it one of those podcasts? I like to say that this is everything. It is whatever you want it to be. It might be your best friend. It might be your worst enemy. Who knows? I hope that what I'm doing here is helpful to you. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you feeling happy today? I hope you are feeling good because I am back with you. And yes, for those who are wondering, this is live. 4 minutes past 2 o'clock on a Sunday. I hope your Sunday is going as well as it possibly can. I hope it is going pretty good. Not too bad here. We have a very busy day, a very busy live stream. Also next week is going to be busy. There is an extra live stream next week. Details about that to follow in a few moments. So I hope you are having a good day. My name is Mr. Duncan and I am one of those. I am an English addict. I love the English language so much. I like talking about it, I like using it, and also I like sharing my excitement with you as well. So I hope you're feeling good today. Yes, we are now coming live from my little studio here in Much Wenlock, and we are broadcasting to you as live can be. So that is the introduction out of the way, and now it's time to do this for the next 2 hours. You have me for a whole 2 hours, and I hopefully have you as well for a whole 2 hours. It's a beautiful day, by the way. I can't begin my live stream without mentioning the weather. We are having a lovely day. Mr. Steve was just outside doing a little bit of gardening, and he said it feels as if spring has already arrived. So there it is, the view from my studio window, everything looking rather nice. The grass is looking green. The trees, some of the trees are starting to come out, but we are still a very long way from spring. If I was honest with you, we still have a little way to go, a few more weeks of this, and I suppose we could have cold weather, we could even have snow. But at the moment, none of that. Lovely, sunny, mild weather. Absolutely perfect. Perfect for me because over the past week I've been busy. Of course, I am still doing my new health regime. And I have to say, I have lost some weight. I have lost just over half a stone in weight, and I am so pleased. So my stomach is now becoming a little slimmer, not quite as fat and podgy as it was a few weeks ago. Yes, I know, I did eat too much food over Christmas. That is the big one. So whenever you have a public holiday or a festival, you know what it's like. It's very easy to start eating too much food. And I was putting a little bit of weight on. So I've decided, and this is now my 5th week, 5 weeks now I've been doing this. I'm getting lots of exercise, taking lots of walks. Also, I've changed my diet as well. I have cut out most of the sugary food. I'm having porridge every morning. So I suppose you might say that I'm turning my life around. We all have to do it. We all have to do it. No one is exempt. No one is immune to sometimes having to sit down and reevaluate their life. You have to look at what you are doing in your life. Am I doing the right things? Am I doing things that might cause me harm? And I did that, and I decided that I was causing harm to myself. So I'm now eating healthily, and I have to say I feel great, and I know that I'm losing weight, so I feel quite happy about that. We have a busy live stream today, talking about something we all do, something we often do in the morning. We often do that thing in bed, maybe alone, or maybe with someone nearby. Of course, I am talking about waking up in the morning, to become awake, to wake up, to come out of that state of unconsciousness. You wake up. So that's what we are talking about today. We do have Mr. Steve here telling us all about his special week because it was his birthday. We had a nice time, even though there were some disasters. We did have a couple of problems on Steve's birthday. Shall I give you more details? Not at the moment. We will see what Steve says later on. Yes, Steve is another year older. He feels okay. He's still older than me. But as I always say, I am catching Mr. Steve up. So every time Mr. Steve has a birthday, after that, of course, I have a birthday. So I have to wait now until August before I am another year older. We might have some people missing today. I believe Claudia is on holiday at the moment by the seaside. Can I just say I am slightly jealous of that, to be honest. I really feel as if I need a holiday. I don't know about you, but I have not had a holiday since 2019. And I really need one. We might be talking about that later on as well. Yes, we have the live chat. Hello, live chat. It's nice to see you here. Of course, it wouldn't be the live chat without you. Right here. Who was first on today's live chat, I wonder? Ooh, very interesting. Hello, Vitas. Congratulations. The champion is still at the top. You are first on today's live chat. Very good. You see, a very good thumbs up there from me. Do you know what I haven't done for a long time? I haven't done my fancy pants. So I suppose I should say, congratulations, Vitas, and I would like to send you a very special fancy pants dance right now. That's enough. We can't have too much excitement. We are only 12 minutes into the show. I need to reserve some of my energy. I might be getting healthier, I might be getting fitter, but I still need to be careful because it isn't really making me younger. That's the real thing I want to change. I want to be 20 years younger. That would be ever so nice. Hello also to Reham. Reham is here as well on the live chat. Nice to see you here as well, Reham. Also we have Francesca. Wahid is here as well. Hello, Wahid. Nice to see you here. Taka is here as well. We also have Rosa, Regina Gomez. Hello to you. Nice to see you. Chaima says, Hello, Mr. Duncan. How are you doing? I'm okay, thank you very much. I am getting pretty excited at the moment because spring is coming. We are having the most glorious day here. And of course, the days are starting to get longer with the light. So our days, or the daylight, is now staying for much longer. So the days are slowly getting brighter, and I have to say I'm really looking forward to springtime, I have to say. Valentin is here. Hello, Valentin. Beatrice as well. Hello, Beatrice. Nice to see you back. One of my regulars on the live stream. Maria. We also have... Who else is here today? Oh, a lot of people saying hello to Mr. Duncan. That's me, by the way. Who else is here? Florence. We have Florence. We also have... Oh, hello, Tomek. I have some good news for you, Tomek. Today we are playing a little game. If we have time, and as long as Mr. Steve doesn't talk too much, we will try to play a little game towards the end of today's live stream. Also, can I say hello to Luis Mendez is here today. Hello, Luis. Nice to see you here as well. Hello also to... we also have Pedro Belmont watching in Brazil. Hello, Pedro. Nice to see you here as well. Udom is here, the old man in Bangkok. Hello to you, Udam. Nice to see you here as well. Lots of people joining in. I had a lovely message during the week from someone saying, Mr. Duncan, I am a secret admirer of you. I'm always a bit worried when someone starts their message with that, because I never know what's coming next. But can I just say thank you very much for your lovely comments over the past couple of weeks about my live streams. I do appreciate it. I really do. It always makes me happy. Hello to HT, who says Ni hao from Zhongguo, which is China, of course. Hello to HT watching in the People's Republic of China. And please, can you please send one of those big balloons to my house? Because, well, to be honest with you, I feel as if I didn't do enough on Mr. Steve's birthday. So if I could get one of those big Chinese balloons to come over my house, and maybe you could write a big message on the side of it, wishing Mr. Steve a late happy birthday. I would be so pleased about that. I really would. Hello also to Alessandra. Hello to Alessandra. And hello to everyone on the live chat. Yes, we have made it all the way to the end of another week and another weekend. It is Sunday, everyone. I'm just drinking some water, excuse me. If you remember last week, I had a few problems with my throat. It is much better. Thank you very much for asking. That's very kind of you. English Addict is here. For those wondering what this is, it is a live stream coming to you live right now. So whatever happens over the next hour and 10 minutes, or should I say hour and 40 minutes, because I am with you for 2 hours on Sunday. But shall I tell you now what is happening? Okay, I'm going to tell you what is happening next week. On Tuesday, we will be with you with an extra live stream, because on Tuesday it is Pancake Day, next Tuesday. So I will be with you live on Tuesday. I will be in the kitchen making some pancakes live. And Mr. Steve will be joining us as well, of course. We will be making them together. We will both be tossing pancakes. You might even say that we are a couple, or we will be a couple of tossers on Tuesday. We will be making some pancakes live next Tuesday because it is Pancake Day. So I hope you will join us for that. Something a little unusual. We don't normally do live streams on Tuesday, but because it is Pancake Day on Tuesday, a lot of people will be celebrating that. Can I say hello to Magdalena? Hello, Magdalena. Nice to see you here as well. Lots of people joining us on the live chat. Rosa Naven Kumar is here as well. Can I say hello to you again? Thank you for rejoining. I have noticed over the past few weeks we have a lot of new viewers who are coming back again and again. So I have a feeling that perhaps I am doing something right. I hope so. Steve will be here. We are also talking about words and phrases connected to being awake. Waking up in the morning in your bed. The first thing you do. What is the first thing you do in the morning when you wake up? I wonder. If you want to answer the question, you can, but please keep it clean. So over the past few days, I have been increasing my exercise. This week, I did around 30,000 steps. Now, I know what you're thinking, Mr. Duncan, that does not sound like many steps. But to me, it is. It's a lot of exercise. And because of that, I am slowly losing weight. I feel so fit. I have to say, I really do feel good at the moment. I can't remember the last time I felt so good, if I was completely honest with you. But these days, I think a lot of people have started using technology to measure their health or to maintain their health, or maybe something that helps them to take care of their health. What about you? Do you use technology to stay fit? Now, these days, there are things you can wear on your wrist. This is not one of them, by the way. This is an old watch that I've had since the mid-1990s. So this watch is not a smart watch. But there are watches that you can buy nowadays that you can look at, and they will monitor your health. So what about you? Do you use technology to stay fit? I know when I'm out and about, I do see a lot of people walking around, and they all have devices. Some of them are strapped to their arm. I've noticed that some people nowadays wear things on their leg as well to monitor their steps and their heart rate and even their blood pressure. So what about you? Do you use anything? I have to be honest with you. I do use an app in my phone. I do use an app that measures the steps that I take. So when I go for a walk, I can measure the amount of steps that I've taken. And I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, Mr. Duncan, that those things are not completely accurate. They're not actually precise measurements. But that doesn't matter, because at least I get some idea. I get a rough idea of how many steps I'm taking. So what about you? Do you use technology to stay fit? Do you have something that helps you? Maybe one of those little Fitbits that you have on your wrist. Maybe you have a special app in your phone, or maybe something you carry around with you. Maybe you have a fitness machine at home, maybe something that you can run on. So I know a lot of people these days, in fact, during lockdown, a lot of people did become more conscious of getting exercise because many people had to stay in their homes. So I think it would be fair to say that during the pandemic, during 2020 and quite likely 2021, many people were starting to exercise at home. So I think a lot of people did buy exercise machines, things that they can use to train on, maybe something to help you run, maybe something to help you maintain your body strength, perhaps. But yes, there are many ways of monitoring your health. But I have to be honest, I don't go completely crazy over it. So the only thing I ever use is the app on my phone, which allows me to monitor the number of steps that I'm taking, because I think it's always a good idea to have some sort of clue or some sort of idea of how many steps you've done during the day. So on average, I want eventually to do around 10,000 steps every day. So that would be very nice. And of course, I am quite lucky because I live in the countryside and there are many places for me to walk around in. But I think, yes, Reham. Hello, Reham. Reham says, I use a health app on my phone. And I know there are many people now who use these things, and there are different types of application that you can buy nowadays and use on your phone. So all I'm interested in, to be honest, is knowing how many steps I've taken during the day. Hello, Inaki. Oh, hello, Inaki. Nice to see you here today. Yes, he is with us in a few moments. We do have Mr. Steve. He will be with us in a studio telling us about his birthday. We will also be taking a close look at a certain part of Mr. Steve's body today. What will we be looking at? Which part of Mr. Steve's body are we going to look at today? I wonder. Palmyra says, I like to wear the watch that counts my steps. I think so. I think these days a lot of people like to have a device on their wrist, and whilst they're walking, the device will show them how many steps they are actually taking. But I think it is a good thing to have, and I think it is a good thing to take care of your health. It is something that both myself and Mr. Steve have realised, because we are not getting younger, we are getting older. And some might say that we are at the dangerous stage of life where if you don't take care of yourself, maybe later on you will suffer all sorts of illnesses. So yes, I am going to try my best to stay healthy for as long as possible. Rosa says, no, I exercise without a fitness machine. I use dumbbells. Of course, dumbbells are very useful. They are weights that you can lift. You can use your muscles and also the joints in your shoulders and your chest and your neck. So dumbbells are very useful. One thing I've never tried Pilates. Has anyone done that? The only thing I know about Pilates is that you bounce up and down on that giant ball. But apparently there are other things that you do as well besides that. But whenever I think of Pilates, I always think of that big rubber ball that you bounce up and down on. Some people go to the gym as well. I tried that many years ago. I did join a gym in Wolverhampton when we lived there, but I didn't go very many times because I felt a little bit embarrassed. You know, I'm a very shy person. You might not believe it, but I am quite shy. So going to the gym and showing people my body was not the sort of thing that I enjoyed doing. I will be honest with you, I did not enjoy it. So I do prefer to walk around, maybe outside, maybe across the countryside, the fields, the meadows and the woods. But no, I've never done anything in a gym for a long period of time. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm too self-conscious, if I was honest with you. Oh, Claudia is here. Hello, Claudia. Nice to see you here. Have you arrived? Are you at the seaside? Now, I know that you might be travelling by bus on a certain day, but are you there now? Please let us know where you are. Very nice. We are, of course, looking forward to meeting up. If we have a chance to meet up, we would love to do it. We haven't planned anything yet. A lot of people have asked, Mr. Duncan, what is going to happen about the reunion or the meetup that we might be having in Paris? Well, as far as I know, we still haven't arranged anything. At the moment, there is nothing arranged. As I mentioned last week, there are a lot of strikes, a lot of industrial action, both here in the UK and also over in France. So we will see what happens. Magdalena says, I used to go to the gym because of problems with my back, but I quit during the pandemic. I think so. I don't like it. I just feel too self-conscious when I'm at the gym. I just can't do it. I don't like to think of people looking at me, staring at my body whilst I'm doing things. Christina says, I find fitness machines very useful in the gym, but I prefer making or doing outdoor sports. Yes, I think there is nothing better than going out into the fresh air. If you can do it, if you can go outside your house and walk around and enjoy the fresh air, then I think that is always a good option. I think so. I think sometimes if you spend too much time indoors, even if you go to the gym, I think it can be a little unhealthy because you are breathing in everyone else's air. So I don't know, maybe in certain ways going to the gym is healthy for you and good for you, but in other ways maybe it isn't. I wonder if Mr. Steve has anything to say about that. We will find out in a few moments because Steve will be with us. He's going to join us in a few moments from now. Don't go away. We haven't had any rain for quite a long time, actually. I don't know why, but we haven't had much rainfall over the past few days. Anyway, enough of that, because coming up now, as live can be, it's Mr. Steve. He is on his way. Here he comes. Mr. Steve, we are now live in the studio and he is here. He has made it. He's been very busy in the garden.
Hello everyone, wonderful viewers from across the world. Hello Mr. Duncan again, even though of course I saw you first thing this morning.
Yes, when we woke up.
Yes, I have been in the garden. It's a beautiful spring-like day. I won't say it's a spring day because we're still in winter, technically. But it must be about 14 degrees outside.
Wow.
It's probably about 80 degrees in your studio. It's very hot in here, Mr. Duncan, with all the lights.
It's always hot in here.
Yes, it feels hot, but it was nice and cool outside. And people have been talking about exercise, I noticed. I was having a sneak look at the live chat before I came on.
Well, what I was talking about, I mentioned the fact that I've increased my health regime and I've lost weight, 1/2 stone.
Yes.
Of weight. No longer part of my body. My tummy is getting flatter and flatter. And I talked about going to the gym as well, because we tried it, didn't we, for a while, but we gave up because we don't like it. We just don't like going to the gym, being on show in front of all those other people. And there's all those strange noises as well.
It wasn't so much that.
When they're lifting things, they go, ugh, ugh, ugh.
Some of them do. No, it was just the inconvenience of it, having to drive there. It takes quite a lot of time out of your day. If you want to get fit, then I don't necessarily think you have to do all those weights. It depends what you want to do. I mean, if you're trying to build your body up, then unless you've got a home gym, then you can't build up muscles at home. It's difficult. You need the proper equipment.
Can I just say, these days, it is the biggest thing, the biggest craze amongst young people now. And I know it might sound...
What is?
No, I'm just about to tell you.
Oh.
Have to get to the end of the sentence.
TikTok?
No, let me just finish the sentence. The biggest craze at the moment amongst young people, bodybuilding. It's the big thing. You might not believe. Yes. If you go on to Instagram, there are lots of people now, of all ages, and they're building their bodies, they're doing the weights, they're lifting big heavy things above their heads, and they're building their muscles. And I suppose in a way I did get a little bit of encouragement from watching some of the health videos on the internet, because it's great to see people transition from being overweight and unhealthy to, I suppose, a more healthy weight. So it did give me a little bit of encouragement. So everyone says that the internet is a bad thing, but actually it helped to encourage me to start taking more care of my health. Yeah. And bodybuilding, apparently. I won't be doing that, by the way.
Well, young people always want to, build up their bodies and look fit and healthy. And of course, we like to look at pictures of young people who have fit bodies, because who wants to look at the picture of an old person? Nobody. So yes, send me the pictures, Mr. You'll have to tell me where to look at these lovely, gorgeous hunks online, Mr. Duncan. People have been talking about their various exercise experiences. And you were talking about monitoring your steps.
Yes.
Using... Well, you use your phone, don't you? Because most sort of smartphones, you can do that. You don't have to have one of these watches.
No. Well, all they actually do is connect to your phone anyway. So It's basically the same app. It's just connecting so you can look at your watch and see what you're doing as you're going along.
I don't think the thing is, so you can over monitor this. Inaki says that they don't find it useful to have one of these. When I used to do exercise when I was younger, it was never about the number of steps. It was the amount of time or the distance that you went. So you can get a bit obsessed with the number of steps. Whereas if you just go out for half an hour's exercise, you can enjoy it knowing that you will do enough steps without having to necessarily constantly be monitoring how many steps you're doing.
Well, all I want to do is have an idea how many steps I'm walking, so I can take that particular route again and again. I know they're not 100% accurate, but at least you have a sort of idea, a rough idea of how many steps you're doing. And I think it's working. There's no doubt about it. It's definitely working. I'm losing weight.
Saturino says, yes, you can go for walks. You can go for walks, or you can get some sort of home equipment, some basic things.
Yeah.
Because you can use your body weight to get fit in a lot of respects. So press-ups. You can use your own body weight to tone yourself up. Going for walks, obviously, for the aerobic side of it. And then press-ups is good, obviously, for your arms and your chest and your back. You can do sit-ups using the weight of your body to flatten your stomach. You can do squats for your legs. There's an awful lot you can do at home.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of exercises you can take without having to
use equipment.
Having to spend big money on going to the gym.
Yes.
So, well, you have a few weights.
Well, the only thing I have,
just for your arms and your upper body.
Yes, it's difficult to. You need dumbbells for your pecs. It's not your pecs. Sorry, your these muscles.
Triceps.
Biceps. For your biceps, you need some weight for that. It's difficult to, unless you've got a bar and you're going to lift yourself up on a bar somewhere.
Yes.
Then yes, you can do that. But I haven't got a bar, so I just use dumbbells for my biceps.
I think a lot of people like to lean on the bar. If you get my meaning.
Yes.
When they're drinking the beer and things like that.
But HT in China, hello, HT, says that in China, we do a lot of meditation, which is good for your health. And, of course, you have to consider not just your physical, but your mental health, don't you, when it comes to fitness? Fitness isn't just about your physical. It's about your mental. It's keeping stress levels down. So a lot of people will know I've mentioned this before. I do meditation, have done it most of my life. And it does help. It really does help to calm everything down. But you have to do it regularly. Otherwise you get out of the good habit of doing it, and then you soon regress.
Well, as I've said before, healthy body, healthy mind. It's an expression that we often use in English, and I think it is true. And another thing that a lot of people forget about is sleep. Sleep is a great part of your health regime, so making sure that you do get plenty of sleep. I must admit, since I've started doing more exercise and taking more care of my general health, I sleep amazingly well. It's incredible. I just go to sleep and I have a refreshing night's sleep.
That's good, Mr. Duncan. Now, of course, gardening's very good exercise, isn't it? Magdalena has ordered 700 litres of soil, which sounds like an awful lot of soil.
That's good exercise, though. If you're doing gardening, I think gardening is a very good type of exercise as well.
Well, those plastic bags contain about 20 litres. So that's about 30. You don't know how it's coming. It's probably coming in a big amount, but that'll be a lot of bags of soil.
Yes.
A lot of bags of soil. I need to get some soil, Mr. Duncan, because I need to grass some area that I took over last year. But gardening, of course, is very, very good for all-round fitness. because you're using all sorts of muscles. You can get a bad back in the garden, though, if you're not careful. But
Well, this is one of the things about exercise. If you start doing exercise after not doing any exercise for a long time, what you find is you might damage or injure yourself. So you have to do it carefully and steadily. So you do have to be careful that you don't overdo it. And then you might make yourself worse if you do too much. And as I always say, if you have any doubts about your health, always make sure you check with your doctor before you start any type of exercise. It's always a very good piece of advice.
Yes, a suggestion of a book from Pedro, the Godfather. Yes, I might. That would be a good book to read.
You have absolutely no intention of reading books.
Well, I do actually. I do want to start reading books. I think it would be relaxing. Failing that, I'll just watch the film. But
Yeah.
that's not the point, is it?
Well, you know what they did? Marlon Brando, to make him look a little bit more mean, they actually got him to put pieces of tissue paper in his mouth like this.
Interesting, Mr. Duncan. Yes, Pedro, of course.
You come into my office. You show me no respect. You show me no respect. Why? Why do you disrespect my family? Why do you do that? You disrespect my family. Oh, Fredo. I think Fredo. He double-crossed us. You must take him out in a boat. Take him fishing. And then you must make sure he is swimming with the fishes afterwards.
Have you finished, Mr. Duncan? As I was saying, Pedro, of course, knows all about bodybuilding. And, of course, he's saying that sort of press-ups are fairly basic. Yes, they are. But I don't want to build up muscle. I just want to stay fit. I want to keep my muscle fit. But you are supposed to do a certain amount of weight training because that stimulates certain hormones and keeps you young.
Yes, it's
growth hormone and things
is.
like that.
Your body, and I know this seems obvious, but your body is incredibly complex. It seems simple. You just put things in here and then it comes out the other end. But it's a bit more complicated than that. You have to make sure that you are taking care of everything.
Use it or lose it.
Yeah,
that's the phrase. Use it or lose it. It's with your brain. If you stop using a muscle, it will waste away. If you don't use your brain, it will become lazy. So it's if you want to stay fit, it's quite. You've got to make a lot of effort. That's the problem with it. And that's why a lot of people don't bother.
No, well, it's much easier to sit down in front of the television and just eat cakes.
Yeah, and just at some point, you look at some people and you just think, I wonder when you just gave up. Because you look at some people and you just think at some point they must have just thought, oh, I can't be bothered. I'm just going to eat, drink, smoke, do whatever I like, and I'm not going to worry about it. That must be quite nice, actually. I wonder if they actually do.
Oh yeah, it's lovely if you
worry about it. I'm sure some people just give up and then maybe they just don't feel guilty and they don't feel bad about it.
The problem is they end up being unhealthy and then they have to go to a hospital and then doctors and nurses have to keep them alive because of their bad habits. So I think maybe in some ways it is eventually in the future you are going to pay the price for it.
But some people will think, well, I just don't care, I'm going to die anyway, so I might as well just enjoy myself. And drink, smoke, take drugs, do whatever I like because I'm only going one way anyway. So, what are you staying alive for anyway? As we said, as somebody pointed out, a well-known comedian,
yes.
you can live very, very healthily all your life, and you might extend your life by 10 years. But they're the worst 10 years because you don't want to be saving time at the back end unless you've got something that you're really keen to do and that you're still, for example, I want to live to 100 because Halley's Comet's coming back.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly on my 100th birthday. So I want to be alive for that. I don't know whether that's a worthwhile goal.
Anyway, talking of the body, the human body, we're going to have a look at Mr. Steve's body because you had your birthday last week. It was a bit of a disaster. I bought Mr. Steve a gift, but Steve didn't like it. So I had to send it back. I had to send the gift back.
It wasn't that I didn't like it.
He threw them at me. He said, What have you bought for me? I can't use these.
I liked them.
Yes.
They just didn't fit.
Yes, I bought something for Mr. Steve to wear on his feet when he's relaxing in the house, but they were too small, so I had to send them back. So I have to find something else now to buy Mr. Steve. We will see what happens. But as I was saying, Steve is now another year older, but it would appear that he's actually getting younger. And we have proof because on Mr. Steve's nose, we noticed that Steve has a spot on his nose. Would you like to see it? Look at that. So normally teenagers get spots, don't they, on their nose?
They do, yes.
But Mr. Steve has a pimple.
That's it, you see.
Just like teenagers do.
That's it. I've got teenage hormones coursing through my veins, Mr. Duncan.
It's incredible.
It must be because spring is in the air, I would say. But that's enough of my pimple, Mr. Duncan.
I think it's fascinating.
Well, I haven't had a spot for a long time, so maybe it's. I think it's because spring's on the way. The hormones are starting to activate themselves.
Oh.
That's what happens, isn't it? As spring comes. That's enough of my spot, Mr. Duncan.
So there it
Please
is.
get that off the screen.
We will remember this forever and ever. The time Mr. Steve had a pimple on his nose.
The things I have to put up with, what Mr. Duncan shows to the rest of the world, private things that I'd rather keep to myself.
You should be flattered.
Well, I'll be flattered if a teenager makes a pass at me. But if not, then I won't be impressed.
Okay.
Well,
Well, I feel that this this section might be used in evidence at some point.
Is it a rare skin disease? Well, it could well be, yes.
No, it's just a spot. It is a spot. We call them zits.
A zit.
Zit. So when we say the word zit, we mean pimple or spot. So that's what Mr. Steve has at the moment on his face. Mr. Steve has a pimple, a little pimple on his nose. I took that photograph yesterday whilst we were eating our scones.
Maybe, yes, as Reham says, maybe I've got oily skin. But of course, that's your sort of T-zone, isn't it, as they call it? That's the oily zone, isn't it? Down your forehead, down there.
Yeah.
That's your sort of oily zone. So, yes, maybe I need to slough.
Yeah.
Or maybe I need to exfoliate.
Yes. A lot of people do that nowadays. They put something on their face to take away all of the top layer. But my skin is normally very greasy. So I do have greasy skin, which I think over time is actually better. I think it's better to have greasy skin than very dry skin, because I think dry skin ages quicker. So I feel quite lucky. So maybe that's one of the reasons why I don't look as if I'm a couple of years off 60. And that's because I think my oily skin is preserving me.
Or maybe it's the lights in the studio.
Okay. Well, all right, Steve, if you want to start unpeeling that onion. Today we're looking at a great subject, by the way, something that I don't like doing, something that Mr. Steve does, and something that I think you do as well out there in YouTube land. Waking up, being awake. You wake up in the morning. I wonder what the first thing you do in the morning when you wake up. That's what we're looking at. Lots of words and phrases, and maybe some confusing words. Hopefully we can explain them today on the live chat. Mr. Steve's plant. For those who are wondering, Mr. Steve's lovely plant is doing very well at the moment. Would you like to see it?
You mean the amaryllis, the amaryllis plant?
Yes.
Yes, it's looking fairly spectacular.
Yes, here it is. So
And
look at that.
look at that. It was ready for my birthday, wasn't it, Mr. Duncan?
It
Both
was.
flowers were out.
It was miraculous. On Mr. Steve's birthday, the flower opened out, and there you can see it. So it's an amaryllis. This particular one is called a red lion. Apparently there are hundreds of types of this particular plant, and it's called a red lion, this one. And I think it's because the flower looks like a lion's mane. I think so. And hippostrum. Hippostrum. Have you heard of that word?
That must be the Latin name for it.
I think that is the general genus of that particular type of plant. So there are many types of this plant, but this one is amazing. I have to say, and it isn't often that I'm impressed by anything, Steve, but that I'm pretty impressed by this flower. There it is. So you can see now it's coming out, and you've got the pollen coming out as well, and that thing at the bottom, I think that is that the stigma.
Stamens and stigmas, yes, I can't remember which is which.
I think the stamens are the lady parts, and the stigma is the male part, which is the thing at the bottom, I think.
Oh, well,
Have you seen it now? It's pointing outwards now.
no, that's the female bit at the bottom.
Oh, okay then. So where's the male bit?
Well, I think they are those stamens, aren't they, with all the pollen on? Mm-hmm. Pollen is seed, isn't it? You know, think of it like that.
Okay.
I would, yes. It's pretty spectacular. I'm going to go round after this live stream and thank my neighbour for giving it to us and show her the picture of it, because I did. We swap plants, or swap is the wrong word. We give each other plants from our garden. So I give her things from my garden, and I gave her a part of your giant Dunculus plant.
Oh.
The one that gets to about 8 foot tall. And she likes unusual plants, so I gave her a cutting from this, and it grew in her garden and had spectacular flowers. And she's given me this in return. She's given me other things as well. So if anyone who's a keen gardener will know, when you start putting plants in after a few years, they start to multiply themselves, don't they? And then you get too many of them, and you have to do a bit of digging to thin them out a bit.
Yes, anyway.
And give them to your neighbours, because it might be nice for them to put them in their garden.
Yeah, so it's added a little bit of colour to the kitchen, so we are quite enjoying that.
Claudia's off to the seaside.
Yes, I know.
And she's taking some sun cream with her.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to sunbathe, she says. I will take a sun bath, Claudia says.
Yes.
I'm going to sunbathe is what we would normally say, but that's fine. I've bought a good sunscreen to protect my skin.
Yes.
Now, I found out the other day, Mr. Duncan, because we've got sunscreen. I've had sunscreen for like 5-6 years in the drawer. Well, apparently it loses its effectiveness after a year, and you should throw it away and buy new sunscreen, apparently. So I've been putting this on, and it probably hasn't been working. It probably stopped working years ago.
That's probably the reason why Mr. Steve's getting lots of spots.
That's it.
That's it, you see. You're destroying your skin.
Yeah, that's it. So it's, change your sunscreen. Apparently, I don't know how true that. Maybe this is a rumour that's put out by the companies that make sunscreen.
Well, they normally have
to make us buy new sunscreen every year.
They normally have something on the side, Steve, that says use by. So normally there's something that says you must use it by.
Yes, because you can get bacteria growing in it as well, apparently. But whether it stops working, I don't know, because some of the ingredients are sort of white minerals, so I can't see how that would stop working.
Giovanni has a question, back to the live chat. Oh, how is your dahlia? I think it's time to check mine, which is stored for the winter. Yes, ours is also stored away. We will be
yes.
planting it in a few weeks, and hopefully it will come back to life, and our beautiful dahlia with its gorgeous red flowers will be back in bloom.
Yes, thank you for asking, Giovanni. Yes, I have it wrapped up. It's been protected from the frost, the sort of bulb bit. Tuber, I think they are the sort of technical name for the root on a dahlia. I will plant that out probably when there's no risk of frosts, which in the UK is really April. You can still get frosts, night frosts in March. So I will plant it out in April here.
We can have snow sometimes in April. That late, I think. In fact, I think after we moved here, we had lots and lots of snow after we moved here way back in 2013, and we did have lots and lots of snow. And I think it can snow as late as April here in this country. So even though it looks nice today, I think we still have a long way to go before we can say that spring has arrived.
When officially, I suppose it's March, isn't it? There was some kind of solstice or something
That's
going
it.
on.
That's when the clocks tend to change as well at the end of March.
Yes, so we'll have to wait until then. So yeah, once the first, well, it's not far off, is it? We're nearly at the end of February. It's quite scary.
I can't believe it.
So yes, once March is here, we're getting into spring. It's getting exciting, Mr. Duncan.
Yes, lovely long days, and we'll be able to do lots of things, maybe extra live streams. Talking of which, don't forget, we are with you on Tuesday, next Tuesday. If you want to see a couple of tossers, then myself and Mr. Steve, we will be tossing our pancakes on Tuesday live here on YouTube.
This Tuesday, Mr. Duncan, isn't it? Yes.
Yes. Well, that's the next Tuesday that we're having is next Tuesday.
Yes, that depends on how you say that, doesn't it? I suppose we won't go into that. But yeah, in 2 days' time.
Yeah. So on Tuesday, Pancake Day, the 21st of February, we will be live in the kitchen. Make it a date, because we will be there and we will be able to make and hopefully enjoy some homemade pancakes.
Well, Marius Stroker reminds us that it was a complete disaster when Mr. Duncan tried to make pancakes the last time, is what Marius is saying here.
Was that last year?
The year before, I think, wasn't it? Is it 2 years since we did it?
It wasn't a disaster when we did it. You did a great job.
I think it was probably yourself.
Maybe last year then, because I can't remember if I did it last year. Anyway, the important thing is we are doing it this year on Tuesday from 2 p.m, live in the kitchen. Mr. Steve and myself, we will be tossing pancakes.
Here's a good joke from Vitas, which is related to exercise. I burnt 1,500 calories yesterday. I left the cake in the oven for too long.
I can
That's
see
a good
what,
one, Vitas. Thank you for that.
Oh, very good. Yes,
That's
I like
very
that
good.
one.
I like that joke. That's worth remembering. I'm going to remember that one.
That was good. I like that. Yes. So if you burn food, you could say that you are also burning calories. You see?
Rose is also saying that we need to do a better job this time when we make the pancakes.
Yes. Well,
so you all have a different memory to us.
Yes.
See, to us, I'm thinking, well, it was very good, but obviously it wasn't quite so good as we remember it.
No, I think this may have been when I was on my own. I don't think you were with us when I made I think it was last year. I think I made a terrible job of it last year. Anyway, again.
Rose is saying that I will help you make a better job of it. Maybe you did do it last year, yes. Giovanni says that they'll be working, but that's fine. You can look at it later, afterwards.
That's the beauty of YouTube. Even if you miss it, you can watch it as many times as you want. So we have our big subject coming up today, a topic which is waking up in the morning. So all of the words, all of the phrases will be connected to waking up, to coming out of unconsciousness, coming out of your dream state, as we call it. So we're not talking about sleep today. We're talking about being awake or waking up. The many words and phrases that can be used to describe that.
Before we get on to that, can I just ask a couple of questions here? Olga has bought a new frying pan and is going to try it on Pancake Day.
Oh,
So maybe you could film yourself and show it to us, and we could show it on the live stream. Tom Rocks asks, can you explain what tossing means?
tossing is when you throw something up in the air and then you catch it again. So you throw it up and then you catch it. So you can toss a ball. You might toss a ball to another person. So you throw it and another person catches it. So normally something that is thrown from one person to another, or maybe if you are doing it yourself, a lot of people can toss something in the air.
I'm going to toss this. There we go. I'm tossing it in the air.
Yes. So Mr. Steve there was tossing.
And we'll let Tomek explain one of the other meanings of that
There
word.
is another meaning that's very dirty and rude,
We'll let,
but we
Tomek
won't do that here because there might be adults watching.
Can you
see.
toss pizza dough? Yes, you can, Magdalena.
Yes, you toss it. So you turn the pizza dough and you throw it in the air and then you catch it again.
Francesca says, can you say flip over? Well, you can with a pancake. You can flip the pancake over, but normally if it's going in, if you just flip it over, it means it's not going into the air.
You're just turning it over.
You're just turning it over. But if it's going into the air and landing back down again, then it means you're tossing it in the air. So it's got to go up and down again. If you just turn it over, then you're flipping it over, yes, from one side to the other. So you're right.
You can also toss a coin.
Yes.
So maybe if you are trying to make a decision
Yes.
on something, you might toss a coin in the air and see where it lands.
Yes. So that was a coin. You toss it into the air. Heads or tails, Mr. Duncan? Well, it's neither because it isn't a coin.
No.
I'm demonstrating, you see, because
I was
it might be
wondering-
visual.
I was wondering how long it would take you to realise that was not money.
Toss a. Well, Matt says this. Matt Lindell says yes, you can toss a coin. So there are many. Well, there is at least two different explanations for that
Yes.
word, meanings.
We can also say there's an expression, I couldn't give a toss, which means you don't care.
Yes.
So I don't care about that. I couldn't give a toss. I just don't care about it. I couldn't give a toss about football. I couldn't give a toss about politics. What's wrong?
Just laughing at Tomek's comment.
Oh.
But yes, exactly.
Well, I think on Tuesday a lot of people will be tossing at the same time as us. So if you want to watch us on Tuesday whilst we are tossing in the kitchen, you can also toss with us as well. So all you need is some batter, some eggs,
Yes.
a little bit of milk, some salt,
Isn't that a different YouTube channel you're talking
and
about?
a hot frying pan, and we can all toss together on,
Yes.
on Tuesday.
And what if it stuck to the ceiling? Yes, of course, Inaki. That's what the humour. That's always a humorous side, as you throw
Yes.
it up and it sticks to the ceiling.
But fortunately, in our house, all of the food that we cook ends up stuck to the ceiling, so you won't notice the difference.
That's true. Yes. And Claudia, of course, is going to be very good at making pancakes because Claudia is a very good cook. Do we know what Claudia is cooking today? We don't, do
No,
we?
we don't. Well, Claudia is on holiday.
So she's not cooking. Maybe she's going out for a meal,
Yeah.
having a rest.
Yes, I think Claudia is either preparing to go away on holiday or is already there. But I know that you are going to have a lovely time. I am slightly jealous because we haven't had a holiday since 2019.
We've got to be quick, you know. If we're going to Paris to meet up, I've noticed some of the comments today. if we don't get our skates on, there's a good phrase. Get our skates on.
If you get your skates on, it means you do something in a hurry. You have to do something quickly.
Yes.
You have to get your skates on. Hurry up.
Well, if we don't, people are arranging to meet up in Paris themselves.
Yes.
With or without us.
Oh, I see.
So we've got to be,
That's great. So you could have an English addict meetup without us two.
Well, because we keep saying we're going to, and we never actually say when we're going to do it. So
That's true.
right, let's do that this week, Mr. Duncan. Let's make that a mission.
Is this before or after you read a book?
It's before or after. No, I won't say anything. Yes, I've got to read books. I've got to do some tossing, and then I've got to sort out our trip to Paris. Not necessarily in that order. I'm gonna. That's on my to-do list, Mr.
Okay.
Duncan.
Is it?
Yes, sort out.
You're just going to pretend to write that down now.
I'm writing it down. Sort out a date for Paris meet.
Yes. We were thinking of June or maybe early July. We will see what happens. And of course,
June.
In a few weeks, of course, we have a big event taking place here in England. We have the coronation of King Charles. He will officially have his big crown dropped on his head, and he will be the king of everything, basically.
Oh, right, okay. Yes, Giovanni, of course you can ask another question. In Italy, I think Pancake Day is the Wednesday of the Ashes. Is that the same thing as pancake? What we call Pancake Day?
Yes, well, it's all related to those things. So it's basically what we did years ago was just to put all of these things, all of the food that we had left over, and make the pancake from it. So it can also be seen as symbolic as well from a religious point of view.
Yes, that is correct, Tomek. If you don't sleep very well and you're restless in your sleep, then you can say you tossed and turned all night.
Yes.
That is correct.
Hey, guess what we're doing today? We are playing fill in the blanks.
Oh, right.
So we are going to
at least one person will still be watching.
Okay, Steve, let me just set this up. So, first of all, we're going to have today's subject, and then after that, we are going to play today's fill in the blanks. So that is coming up a little bit later on.
Here's something interesting, Mr. Duncan.
It better be.
Zurshid, we call them Zurshid. We don't know if it's the correct pronunciation. We have one of Zurshid's students on today. Axmajon. Lots of X's in the names. Axmajon. So welcome. And that's incredible to have a pupil of somebody who is watching us.
I believe you were watching on Wednesday as well.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Was I here on Wednesday? Yes, I was.
We
yes,
were here
right.
together.
Yeah, that's right.
On Wednesday.
Exactly. Who's asking you how old you are?
Me? This year, I will be 58. So I am almost officially 2 years away from 60.
Olga says about the king's coronation. Yes, it does seem complicated. So just as a very quick explanation, he is the king now, but he hasn't been officially crowned. So that's the ceremony, isn't it, where he has to have the crown put on his head.
Yes.
That's the coronation. Literally the coronation,
yes.
The crown going on your head.
It comes from the word coronet, which of course means crown. So when you coronate someone, you are putting a crown on them. You are laying the crown on their head.
So as soon as the Queen died, he immediately was the king. But all this is a symbolic ceremony.
It's like being engaged to be married, and then you have the official ceremony where you get married. So I think it's probably the best way of looking at it. Anyway, we have King Charles. It will all be official in a few weeks from now. Everyone getting very excited, mainly because we get, I think it's 3 days holiday. Is it? I think we are getting a public holiday. So I really couldn't care less about the coronation. But I do like the fact that we might be able to have a bit of fun and games on here, maybe on the same day. So maybe we could have our own coronation here. We could have our own crowns.
What a good idea.
Maybe I could be crowned the King of English. That would be very nice.
What an ego. Yes. Yes, Tomek, if you aren't sleeping very well at night, the correct order is to toss and turn.
Yes.
If it's the other way round, it's something else entirely different, which I'm sure is exactly what you are hinting at.
I think he's being rude.
Yes, but we like that, so it doesn't...
You're being very rude.
Right, okay.
Rude. Rude, Tomek. Rude.
Tomek said that the Wednesday stream was a drag, which is a joke, of course, because you were talking about drag, weren't you?
That's it. How things can go by so slowly, like today's live stream. Anyway, Steve, I've got to get on because we're not going to have time. I can already see we're not going to have time to do anything else. So this is English Addict, everyone. I hope you are having a good day. It's a beautiful day here in the UK, and the sun is out. And as Mr. Steve mentioned earlier, it's looking lovely. Look at that. Isn't that amazing?
I can feel my hormones rising, Mr. Duncan.
As long as that's the only thing that's rising.
Well, they come together, don't they, usually?
Do they really?
Well, that's what spring does, doesn't it? It's sort of, gets your sort of reproductive organs going.
Does it really?
Yes, it does. Well, that's a natural thing, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, look at the birds outside at the moment. They're mating like there's no tomorrow.
Even at your age?
Yes, at any age, I think, yeah.
Even at your age, it hasn't all fallen to pieces.
Not yet,
It hasn't gone rusty.
Not yet, no.
So
a few more years.
Anyway, stand by, everyone. We have today's subject coming up, and we're talking all about waking up, being awake, being conscious. Something that Mr. Steve rarely is. We are still here, by the way. Don't worry, we haven't gone yet. I know a lot of people are wishing we would. Today we are looking at an interesting subject. I think it is anyway. Wake up. And you can see there, wake up, exclamation mark. And the reason why I've put that there is quite often we will say wake up when we want someone to wake up from their sleep. So maybe they are asleep and you want someone to wake up. And my mother used to often shout up the stairs and she would say, Duncan, are you getting up? Wake up. Wake up, Duncan. Come on. Get out of bed, you lazy boy.
But did she swear?
Yes,
she swear?
She swore a lot. But I think sometimes I did deserve it.
As we discovered, she still does. Even.
Yeah. Anyway, Steve,
wake up!
We have a subject to talk about. Please, wake. So now, if someone wakes or they wake, we are using it as a verb, to become conscious, to be aware, or to become aware. So it is interesting how we use these words in many different ways. Also another word that you might not hear very often anymore, rouse. You rouse someone, but it is still used in common English. So to bring about a certain situation or to encourage people to do something is also a use of the word rouse. You might rouse a reaction. You might rouse a person from their sleep. You are making them become conscious of everything around them. So I think that's quite a nice word. What time does she normally wake? What time does she normally wake? So from being asleep to being conscious, you wake.
Or wake up.
Yes, anyway. You need to wake at around 6 a.m. So again, you are using the word wake to show that a person is asleep, but then they will be awake. They will wake up at 6 a.m. A person can wake. something causes a person to wake. So you can wake yourself up, you open your eyes and you are awake. But of course, you might also wake another person up, or maybe something wakes you up. I wake up at dawn. Or, don't wake up the neighbours. Don't make too much noise. Don't wake up the neighbours because they will be angry.
I'd wake up the neighbours, Mr. Duncan, if I went out early in my Ford Mustang. That would wake up the neighbours.
Even though you don't have one.
Even though I don't have one, it would wake them up unless I put it on silent mode.
Anyway, here's another one. The word up is often used after wake. So it's interesting how sometimes we do this. We put up next to the word that we are describing or using as a verb. There's another good example. Can you think of another example where we use up next to a word?
Shut.
Yes, you can shut up. Maybe you shut up your shop. You are closing your business for the day. Or maybe permanently. You are going out of business. You shut up your shop. Or maybe you tell a person to be quiet. Oh, I wish you would shut up. Shut up.
Be quiet.
Yes.
Shut up.
Call is another one. You might call up someone. You call up a friend. You phone a friend. You phone a colleague. You call up. You call them. You call that person. So the word up is often used after wake. I normally wake up around 7 a.m. We have the past tense, of course. To wake up, you woke up. You woke up. I woke up as it was getting light. I woke up as it was getting light. And that's something we've noticed recently.
Yes.
It's starting to get light in the morning. Normally it's very dark during the winter in the mornings, but we've noticed that it's starting to get light.
Which means we'll have to go to bed earlier, otherwise we will be woken up by the light coming in from behind the curtains, from the sun rising.
My neighbour's dog woke me up. Oh, we know that one very well, don't we?
Unfortunately, we do.
Yes.
Although the other day, of course, we were woken up by the sound of the milk delivery van going next door at something like 5 o'clock in the morning, clanking bottles. Do you ever get woken up? Do you have milk delivered where you are to houses? It's not something that happens very often now, but these days most people get it from the supermarkets. But some people, sort of old-fashioned people, still like to have their milk delivered on a van.
So my neighbour's dog woke me up. It's very annoying. Like that, you see. It can be very annoying.
And we shout out of the window, shut up.
Yes, shut that stupid dog up. We can also use awaken to express wake up. You can awaken me before you leave. And also as a past tense, awoken, or you awoke. So you wake up, and in the past you awoke, or you woke up. You awaken can also be the present tense. You awaken. Maybe if you make a person aware of something as well, you can use the word awaken. So maybe something you didn't know before, and now you know it. You can say, thank you, you have awakened my interest. You have made me interested. You have made me realise that something is the way it is.
You can awaken a passion in somebody, can't you?
Yes.
That's commonly used in that context. That maybe you've been around somebody for a long time and never really noticed them, and then suddenly they awake some passion inside you because of something they do or something they wear or something they say.
Yes. Awaken. Here's another one. The word waked. Now this is interesting because it doesn't look like a real word, but it is. Waked.
Really?
Yes, it is. And officially
Oh, right, yes.
Yes, it is in the Oxford English Dictionary before anyone says, Mr. Duncan, the word waked is not real. Waked. The word waked is often seen as wrong, but it is correct. You can use waked. The fire alarm waked me. It doesn't seem right, does it? And I agree with you. It doesn't seem right.
I was waked up by the neighbour's dog.
Yes. What time do you like to be waked? Isn't that strange? So there are certain situations in English where something seems incorrect or not right, when in fact it is. Here we go. Some ways of expressing wake. To wake up. To awaken. To have waked. To be woke. To have awoke. To be woken. Now the last one, of course, as I said earlier, to be woken means something else is causing you to become awake, to be woken. And of course we have the word woke, which of course has become a word that a lot of people use as a buzzword, which means a person who is over cautious or over tolerant, or maybe a person who is always thinking about whether or not they are offending other people. So they make lots of provisions, and they make sure that they always say the right things and include everyone. But of course you can do that too much, and quite often people will use the word woke to describe that type of action.
Very topical subject
or
these days.
Or that type of person. And of course, I suppose we should say that if a person is not awake, a person who is not awake is unconscious. Also a word that a lot of people spell incorrectly. You are asleep. You are unaware. So maybe a person who is not awake might be at work, and maybe they're not concentrating on their job. You might say that that person is not awake, even though they are awake, but they're not concentrating very well on their job. They might not be aware of what they are doing because they are maybe sleepy. Maybe the night before they stayed awake too late.
Normally you would associate the word unconscious with being hit over the head, wouldn't you? You would... yes, if you get hit over the head, you are rendered unconscious. But people often do use that to try and describe how somebody is in a very deep sleep. I was in a deep sleep. I was unconscious.
Well, it is the state that you go into anyway, isn't it?
It is.
It's a bit like being in a coma as well. We often think of coma as a very deep sleep. In fact, one that you can't actually wake up from.
Yes, you say, oh, I felt so sleepy. I felt as I'd gone into a coma. And of course, what you're doing there is exaggerating the state of sleep because you don't want to be in a coma.
But when we often think of head injuries, maybe if a person has brain damage, maybe from an accident, they might also be unconscious, but they cannot be awoken.
Yes, if you're unconscious, it means you're not awake. But you wouldn't normally say. You would normally say I've woken up. You wouldn't. You wouldn't say I went to sleep last night. You wouldn't say I went unconscious. You might say I had a lot to drink and I fell unconscious on the settee.
Yes, it's normally used dramatically.
Usually used dramatically because unconscious normally is associated with a state you don't want to be in, hit over the head, drunk,
and
drugged.
Then, okay, I've got to move on, Steve.
Yeah.
Awake is the opposite. When we say a person is awake, they are conscious. They are awake. They are aware. So you might also use the opposite when we are talking about a person at work. You have to stay awake in your job. And that can mean maybe you have to stay conscious, but also you have to be aware of what is happening around you. Maybe you are a security guard and you have to stay awake. You have to stay alert. So I think that's quite a good way of looking at those two words. We can also say that a person gets up they get up. So normally, when we use that phrase, we mean the person is actually getting out of bed. So they wake up and maybe straight away they get up. They get out of bed. Or they rise. What time do you rise in the morning? What time does he normally get up? I won't get out of bed until I'm ready. So you get up or you get out. You get out of bed. A person who wakes up early. Now, Mr. Steve, sometimes you wake up very early in the morning. You like to have a drink of water, or maybe you go downstairs and look at the sunrise. You might say that you were up with the lark. I was up with the lark this morning. It means you got up early.
With the birds.
Yes.
And I presume the lark is a bird that starts singing particularly early. Yes, if you're up with the lark or up with the birds, you can say that means you get up basically as the sun is getting up. Sun is rising, because that's when the birds normally start singing. Yes, you've got it down there, an early bird.
Yes, so that the person who gets up early can also be described as an early bird.
I had a boss many years ago that used to use the phrase "an early bird catches the worm."
Yes.
Because obviously, if a bird is awake, it might be the first one to see the worm and get the food. But in the context it was being used in my workplace was that he was encouraging me to drop my business cards off at customers to try and get sales, to try and get in before other sales companies, sales force people were out there. Get your card in early, get to the surgery early, get to the place where I'm going to sell my goods before another company, and then I will stand a better chance of selling something.
Yes.
So the early bird catches the worm.
So if you get in quickly, if you get in early, then you have more chance of success.
That's it.
To be up at the crack of dawn. I'm not saying anything else about that.
Here's another one. Wake up. Go on. Yeah, I thought you finished.
No, I'm not. There was another way of using that, but I'm not going to say that. We need to be out of bed at the crack of dawn. So as the sun is rising, maybe outside your window you can hear Mr. Cockerel crowing, perhaps.
I hope not.
We need to be out of bed at the crack of dawn. As daylight approaches or begins, we have to get up. We have to be up at the crack of dawn.
Wake up call, I was going to say.
Ah, yes. Maybe you receive a call in the morning to tell you to wake up.
Maybe if you're staying at a hotel, you book a wake-up call. People don't do that very much now because they've got alarms on their phones everywhere. But it's sometimes like a fail-safe, isn't it? You can get someone to wake you up.
Sometimes it's not easy to wake up in the morning. Sometimes you don't want to wake up. The phrase. Oh, here's a good phrase. We have some phrases now before we finish this part.
Okay.
Wake the dead. If you wake the dead, of course you can't wake the dead.
Can't you?
But it is used as an expression to show that a person is making too much noise, or maybe something is too loud or extremely noisy. Keep that noise down. You will wake the dead. It's a good one.
Yes. If your children are screaming and shouting a lot, maybe you could use that to scare them. Stop shouting and screaming. You'll wake the dead. And that may scare them.
I think it's more because they're so noisy. Even those that are no longer living might be roused.
Bamboo for you says dawn cracks. Is that rude?
No, don't read that, Steve.
Oh,
no,
okay.
That isn't.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yeah.
Good.
I
Steve.
fell for it. Move on.
Of course. So you might wake the dead. You might also say wakey, wakey.
Wakey, 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 Rise and shine.
Okay, that might be coming up.
Okay.
Wakey, wakey. Often said jokingly when waking someone. So maybe a person, you are going up to wake them up, and you might say, wakey, wakey.
Maybe you've gone downstairs to make a cup of tea and you bring it up and you go, wakey, wakey. Usually said to children, but you can obviously use it to your partner.
Yes, anyone.
Yes.
Normally used jokingly.
You normally use jokingly, that's it. Yes.
Here's another one. This is something that Steve... I'm sorry, Steve. I'm sorry. Wide awake.
Pardon?
Alert.
What?
Very aware. Fully conscious.
Huh? Oh, right, yes. Yeah, okay.
Stop
yeah.
it then. Stop it.
I'm often off in a fantasy world of my own and
Yes.
maybe not particularly alert
Yes.
or very aware.
So to be wide awake means you are in the moment. You are very aware of what is happening around you. You are wide awake. I suppose the opposite would be drowsy or sleepy. You are feeling sleepy. The opposite of wide awake. So that's quite an interesting one. Here we go. A phrase. You might say, it's time to get up. It's time to get up. It's time to get out of bed. You have to get up for work, or maybe you have an urgent appointment to attend to. It's time to get out of this pit. My mother used to say this to me in the morning. She says, come on, Duncan, get out of that pit. It's an expression that is used. It doesn't mean that your bed is a hole in the ground. It just says, come on, get out of that place where you're spending too much time. Get out of your pit. It's time to get up.
Yes.
Oh, here's a good one. Open one's eyes. Now, I think this is an interesting one, Steve. So can you think of a use of that?
Open one's eyes. I didn't open my eyes until... Yes. Yes, the indication there is that you didn't really wake up properly. You might have been walking around doing things, but... open your eyes. Oh, yes, it's when you suddenly get an understanding for something. Maybe you didn't understand something that somebody said or a situation, and then suddenly, oh yes. Or maybe you've come to a realization about something that you didn't know before. Maybe you're a climate denier. Maybe you don't believe in climate change, but then somebody shows you some evidence and you say, well, you've really opened my eyes to that. I can now believe what you're saying. I'm not saying that is true. That's just an example.
So the phrase open one's eyes, you open your eyes, it means to wake up. You become conscious, you wake up, you open your eyes, or, of course, you become aware of something you didn't know before.
Yes.
You now know. You open your eyes, maybe to a certain part of reality that you didn't realise existed.
Or a person. Maybe you had a work colleague and you thought they were quite nice. You didn't know much about them, but you always had a chat with them, and then somebody said, oh, let me tell you a thing or two about them. And it turns out that they're not very nice and they've, I don't know, done lots of bad things. And then you say, well, you've really opened my eyes about that person. Thank you for telling me.
To become very aware.
Yes, the idea was that you were blind, blinkered. You couldn't see the truth.
Okay.
And now suddenly you can.
We also have another one. To say a person who wakes up, we can say that they are back in the land of the living. Again, it doesn't mean that person was dead. It just means that they were asleep. They weren't doing anything. They were inactive. But we can say that that person is back in the land of the living. Oh, I see. You've decided to get up. Oh, I see. You're back in the land of the living. It's very nice.
If you were several of you sitting around, maybe having a family event, and you were all sitting down, somebody fell asleep, and then they woke up, and then you would say that to them, "Oh, you're back in the land of the living, are you?"
Yes.
And then everyone would laugh a bit.
So you are awake again after a good rest, often said sarcastically, in fact. And I think Tomek gave us this earlier. Wake up and smell the coffee. You might tell a person to wake up and smell the coffee. It is time to see things as they really are. So again, it's a little bit like open your eyes to something. It's time to see things as they really are. Wake up and smell the coffee. Become aware of something that maybe you were not aware of before.
Yes, it's often used in a sarcastic way to somebody, isn't it? Quite often it's used sarcastically.
It can be, yes. But normally if we're trying to draw attention to something that happens in reality,
yes,
something that happens in the real world, quite often something brutal or maybe unfair, it's time to wake up and smell the coffee.
The early bird gets the worm. Yes, Vitas, we've explained that one, but thank you very much for it again. Referring to the fact that if you get up early, you're more likely to you'll get an advantage over something or somebody else.
Tomek has made an interesting point about wake-up call. Wake-up call can also be something that makes you change your life. Maybe maybe you have a heart attack, or maybe something goes wrong in your body. You might say that was a wake-up call.
Yes.
A warning of maybe something bad happening in the future, or maybe something even worse.
Yes, maybe
perhaps.
You go to the doctor and you have a blood test, another example, and you've got a very high cholesterol or high blood pressure. And that is a wake-up call that you need to start looking after yourself and taking exercise. But you can use that in many other ways.
Here's something that Steve does a lot. He often gets out of bed on the wrong side. You get out of bed on the wrong side, or we can say that you get out on the wrong side of the bed. It means you wake up feeling angry and bad-tempered. So maybe someone comes down in the morning and they seem really unhappy. You might say, "Oh, I see. What's wrong? Did you get out of bed on the wrong side this morning?"
It doesn't mean you're literally doing that. It's a figurative thing, isn't it?
Yes.
It just simply means that you are bad-tempered first thing in the morning.
It is a good one. I like that one. I actually like that. We've got a couple of more.
A certain person wants you to explain morning glory as well.
That is when you wake up in the morning, and this is something that affects men.
Well,
sorry, you asked me to do it.
Well, I wasn't going to. Yes, I wasn't. Anyway.
You wake up in the morning and you notice something. You notice something very unusual. Maybe it's a little bit of sunlight coming through the curtain, but you feel awake. You feel excited by the dawning of a new day. Men, normally under a certain age, get their lovely morning glory as the day starts, and they feel ready to take on whatever the day has for them.
But of course, what it really means is the glorious sunrise.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
When you look out of the window. But it does mean something else, and we'll let you look it up.
There are ways of waking up, of course. You can wake up naturally. Maybe you wake up to the sound of the birds, or as Steve just said, the sunrise coming through the window. Maybe you have an alarm clock, or maybe there is some disturbance, maybe a dog barking or a noisy neighbour starting their car. And of course, the partner can also wake you up in the morning as well. Maybe they are restless. Maybe they have to go to the toilet for a wee-wee, and they have to go maybe 3 or 4 times during the night. I'm not saying that anyone does that. No one here does that. But perhaps your partner wakes you up in the morning as well.
Giovanni says, is there a phrase, get out of bed on the wrong foot?
No.
I think there is. I think what you're referring to there is get off on the wrong foot or on the wrong footing.
Which means you make a bad start.
Yes, say in a new job or you've met somebody new and you upset them, or you get into an argument and you say, "Well, I think we've got off on the wrong foot." I don't mean that.
Yes.
So that's not about waking up. But thank you, because it's useful to explain that phrase.
So to waken, to become awake, to regain consciousness, to be awake, not asleep, to be conscious. So you can see there is a slight difference between those two words, to waken and to be awake. One is the process or the action of going from sleep to being conscious, and the other one is being conscious. And guess what, Steve? That is it for today's subject.
So is there a phrase, says Inaki, if you wake up, you are not bad-tempered, but you don't feel rested when you wake up? I think you would just say you just feel as though you haven't had a good night's sleep.
Yes.
You just feel tired.
Yes.
Don't think there's a specific phrase for that.
You might say that you had a restless night.
Yes. Yes, I don't feel as though I slept very well.
So I don't feel very good this morning. I had a restless night. It means that I found it very difficult to get to sleep. Anyway, Steve, we have something really exciting coming up.
But Beatrice says, sorry.
Okay, Steve.
Beatrice says that they say you can get out of bed with the left foot.
Oh, I see. So that is the expression that's used there.
Ah, right, yes.
Anyway, Steve, please.
So, yeah.
Okay. I want to say, please stop talking, but I won't. I won't do that. Here we go, Steve. Are you excited? Because back by popular demand, we have our new game with a new intro.
A new intro?
Yes.
How exciting.
Now you're excited.
Are you ready?
You are excited now, I think so. Yes. Here we go. It's time to fill in those blanks. Fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks, doon doon, fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks, doon doon, fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks. Do you like that?
Yes. That reminds me of a television program.
Okay.
From many years ago.
Good. Fill in the blanks, everyone. We are going to fill in those blanks. All we have to do is look at a sentence. There will be some words missing, and what you have to do is fill in the blanks. It's as simple as that, really.
Yeah.
It couldn't be simpler, even if I tried to make it more simple.
Is it connected to...
No. It isn't connected
so it could be anything.
It could be any. Well, you'll see the sentence in a moment. I haven't hidden anything, so there it is. So
right.
The sentence is, today I something to the something. So you can add your own words in there, or you can add a certain selection of words, maybe the words that I've chosen to add. So we will see what happens. It will be interesting to see what you have for me.
And what we're looking for here is correct grammar.
Yes.
So not just any old words. They've got to actually make grammatical sense in the English language.
Yeah. So just give it a try. Don't be shy. There are no wrong answers. Although if there is a wrong answer, I will correct you. But give it a try, don't be shy, or else you will make Mr. Duncan cry. And we don't want that.
Yeah, we've got some suggestions already.
Today I need to go to the toilet.
Just once a day? so you don't go every day? Oh, I suppose it could be a number 2, couldn't it? You could be talking about there. Yes, Francesca. Today I have to go to the office.
Oh.
Now, before the pandemic, we would never use that phrase because we would be going every day. But now, of course, a lot of people work from home. I've got a friend who only goes into the office twice a week now. Used to go every day, now only goes twice a week. So you can say that phrase, today I need to go to the office, or today I have to go to the office, is used more frequently, I think.
Yes, I think it can. It's almost like people have become part-time with their office hours. So they might go in, as you said, just a couple of times a week, and then the rest of the time They are working from home.
Here's a good one from Lewis. Today I have to go to the dentist.
Today I have to go to the dentist.
I have to go and see Claudia
Mm.
to have my teeth looked at.
Yes.
Oh, it could be doctor. It could be all manner of things.
Gynecologist.
Yes. Yeah, it could be, yes. Yeah, today I have to go to the pool, yes, or I want to go to the pool. I want to go to the park.
So anywhere, so you can
Oh,
sit.
yeah, Olga said that.
Yes.
Today
Good.
I wish to go to the park.
Yes.
Well
Today-
done.
Yes. I suppose there is another word we could use there after I. Something that you must do. Something that is very important. So there is another word that you could put in there. Something you must do. Something you have to do.
Or need to.
Yes. Well, that's the word I was alluding to. That is the
Today
word.
I have to go to the supermarket.
Today,
Or-
Inaki says, today I want to listen to the cockerel. You might hear the cockerel in a moment when the time is up for this question. So any more answers coming through?
Well, Beatrice says, today I want to go to the restaurant. You would probably say go to a restaurant, unless you had a specific restaurant in mind.
Maybe you own the restaurant
Yes, maybe if you own the restaurant
or you work there.
and you work there, today I have to go to the restaurant. But if you were going out for a meal, you would say go to a restaurant. But yes, if you own a restaurant, you would go to the restaurant or to my restaurant.
Yes, normally if there's a personal connection or a specific thing, you will use the. So that is correct, actually, if you have a personal involvement.
We can't go to see Claudia to get our teeth fixed because Claudia is on holiday. Of course, we forgot that.
That's it. Maybe Claudia could be treating people's teeth on the beach. Maybe they've got sand between their teeth.
Maybe, yeah, exactly.
Yes,
And you need to perform some emergency dental work
yes, on the beach.
on the beach. Somebody's tooth falls out or they
Yes.
break a tooth.
You can just rinse their mouth out with seawater. It might be a bit salty. Anyway, here we go. Would you like to see the answer? So this is the answer that I have here. If I can see where it is, there it is. Yes. So here is the answer. Thank you, Mr. Cockerel. You see? You're not disappointed. There he was, Mr. Cockerel. And the answer that I've got here, actually, here it is. Here's the one that I've got, Mr. Steve.
Go on then.
Today, I need to go to the supermarket. So maybe there is something you need to buy. Maybe there is some food that you've run out of or you are short of. So today I need to go to the supermarket. So we often use the word need when something has to be done, something important, something crucial, something that has to be done, it must be done, you need to do it. So I think that was a good start. I think
Very good start. Thank you for your...
that was a very, very good start.
Oh,
So
yes. Yeah,
here's another one, Steve. Are you ready?
I am ready.
This is game 2.
Fingers at the ready.
Yes. Get ready.
Type away.
Type.
I something want to something you. That
Something.
already sounds very rude.
Yes, in your mind, maybe. In your filthy, disgusting mind. I something want to something you something.
We could be using one of those words that we used earlier to describe a certain disturbed sleep pattern.
Yes. Maybe you are turning, or what's the other one? I something want to something you something.
We're gonna get lots of rude answers for this, Mr. Duncan.
You know, can I just say, when I wrote this earlier, I didn't realise how rude that could be if you decided to add certain words.
Valentin has started the ball rolling. That's a good phrase. It's to start the ball rolling.
Ah, yes.
That means that somebody has started giving a suggestion. So maybe you're at work and the boss is after ideas about how you can increase sales. Nobody says anything, and then somebody suddenly says, well, maybe we could do this, and then the boss might say, good, thank you for getting the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Somebody starts something off.
Yes, the action of beginning something, or to be the first person to do something in a process where other people will then be involved. So the first person to do it, the first person to start.
So
something.
far, they're reasonably clean. I always want to see you happy. Thank you, Valentin.
I really want...
Thank you, Valentin.
Bamboo. Hello, Bamboo. Yeah? I really want to touch you, darling. Are you talking to me?
Well, we don't know. But let's assume that.
I have to say, these days, I'm glad of any attention that I get, to be honest.
I do want to tell you something.
I don't.
Or I don't. I do want to tell you something. Yeah, that fits.
No, it says I don't want to tell you something.
Well, Beatrice said I do want to tell you something.
Oh, I see. How strange.
That, yeah. Or, yes, it could be I don't want to tell you something. Or I don't want to tell you anything.
Yes. I think anything would be better.
I don't want to see you again.
Yes.
Says Maria. That's a good one.
Yes. So you can see there are many choices that you have there.
They're coming through thick and fast.
Yes.
Now, if you say that they're coming through thick and fast, it means you're getting lots and lots and lots of suggestions coming through.
Things are happening very quickly.
Yes.
Lots of things are happening at the same time. It's coming thick and fast, as it were. Any more?
Let's have a look. I'm just reading out the correct ones.
Tomek, I never want to see you upset. I never want to see you upset.
Impossible.
I never want to see you cry. I never want to see you in pain.
I never want to tell you lies, says Galina. Yes. Or, yeah, that fits. I never want to tell you lies. Or I don't want to tell you lies.
Lewis has a good one. I also want to tell you something. So maybe you can use that as a reply. So maybe a person tells you something that they want to keep a secret, but they trust you. And then you might say, I also want to tell you something. So maybe you want to tell them a secret.
Now Tom's come up with a good one related to today's subject about waking up. I don't want to wake you up.
Yes.
I don't want to wake you up.
Yes, very good.
Very good.
That fits in perfectly.
It fits in perfectly with today's subject.
So now you can see why we play this game. It gives you a chance to think about the way sentences are formed, but also you can put certain words in there as well. We are going to try and squeeze another one in.
Zuzana, I don't want to see you sad. Yes. I also want, yeah.
Okay, Steve, moving on. The answer I have here is... Oh.
All right, yes.
I never want to see you again. I never want to see you again. Quite often, I've lost count of how many people have said this to me in my life. I never want to see you again. Charming.
Yes.
Charming.
So some of them, thank you for, I haven't read them all out. Some of them aren't quite grammatically correct.
I think most of them were pretty good.
Most of them were pretty good.
Yes.
There's one or two here I can see not quite grammatically correct, because I think that the words, what I think I notice with other languages is the words often come in a different order, don't they? They do in French.
Yes.
And so to make them grammatically correct in English, they have to go in the right way.
Yes, certainly verbs tend to be in different places. Anyway, I want to squeeze...
But thank you.
I want to squeeze one more in, as the vicar said to the actress. And what? Something... Okay, here we go, Steve. This is... We should be something off something.
Right.
So this might be suitable for this time of the day for us.
We should be...
Something off something. This is the final one before we go. With just 4 minutes left, we might actually finish at the right time today. Yeah, we will see what happens. So here it is, final one of fill in the blanks. We should be something off something. So maybe there is a sense of urgency in this sentence.
Or maybe some of you will come up with different suggestions.
Yes. So we will see what happens.
Yes. Do you know a song by Moby called Wake Me Up?
I know Moby. Moby, he's the guy with no hair. He looks a bit like me.
Or me, yeah.
We should be something off something. We should be calling off the stream. That doesn't fit in there, unfortunately.
Not quite
That doesn't fit.
grammatically, but...
Eso says, I should be turning off the stove. Well, there is only one word at the end, one blank space. So we have 2 missing words. So that means we need to replace that blank space with 2 words.
And we need an extra... You need an extra word in there, Tom, for that to be right. So we should be sold off tomorrow. Sold out would be correct. Sold off isn't...
Well, sold off can mean just something is if you want to get rid of something quickly, you might have to sell it off.
Yeah, but
we should be sold off. I suppose sold out is better if you run out of something, if you have nothing left.
That's one of those tricky people are saying.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think it is. But it might be very suitable for this time of the day. So I'm giving you a clue there. So maybe something that will be happening soon, or maybe in a few moments it will be soon.
We should be switch off electricity. Yes, it doesn't. Yes, again. Yes, this is interesting. This one.
Yes.
This is interesting.
Yes.
So far, nobody's actually come up with a phrase that is grammatically correct. We should be getting. Yeah, we should be getting off that. Yeah, that's grammatically correct. We should be getting off that. If you were talking about a subject, maybe.
Or there.
Yes.
We should be getting off there. If you are driving on the motorway.
Yes.
Maybe there is a place where you have to turn off. We should be getting off there. So you might be very close there to what I am looking for.
Thomas said we should be set off now. That's almost right. If you were to make the word set into setting, we should be setting off now.
Which means
we need to start the journey.
Leave.
We need to. We should be setting off now.
Setting off.
Otherwise, we will be late.
Yes.
So that is right. You just need to have the word setting.
Here, Steve.
Here's one from Mapak. We should be signing off soon. Yes.
Yes.
We should be signing off soon,
Yes.
meaning that you're going, you're leaving.
Yes.
It's yeah.
So if you sign off, it means you are leaving, you are going, you are saying goodbye. My answer is very interesting. Here we go, Steve.
Here's one from Maura.
I've got to go, Steve.
We should be logging off shortly, or logging off soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Logging off.
Yeah.
So you're getting a better idea of what that word should be. The first one. Anyway,
yes.
You've got to end, Steve. The show is ending. It's ending. We've got to go. Here we go.
What's your suggestion, Mr. Duncan?
Here it is, Mr. Cockerell. And the answer that I have before we leave is we should be heading off. Heading off. If you are heading off, it means you are leaving. It's a bit like what you said, setting off. If you set off, it means you leave. If you are heading off, it means you are leaving as well. And that's exactly what we are about
To do.
to
Valentin, we should be taking off now.
Or soon.
Or soon.
Yes. So
Maybe an aeroplane.
So now is immediately, soon is in a short while. So there is a difference, but they are both, you can use both of them. That's it, Steve.
Naki, we should be getting off here. Yes.
Yeah, that's it, Steve.
Yeah, good.
Time
Thank
to
you.
go. We've finished. We've done our service to the world of English, and we are back. And can I just say, I will make a point of mentioning this. We are back on Tuesday. I know what you're thinking. Oh, we are back on Tuesday. We have Pancake Day. We will be live in the studio together, tossing pancakes. That is what we are doing on Tuesday.
Yours is right as well, Olga. That is correct. Yes. Thank you for all your contributions to the live stream. It's been very lively today and very enjoyable, as it always is. And we've had a laugh. We've had a few laughs, haven't we, today? And that's always a bonus if we can have a laugh as well as teach you at the same time. Well, Mr. Duncan, I shall go into the kitchen and put the kettle on. I shall try and stay awake.
Okay.
I'm usually quite tired after the live streams. You don't normally rush me off, Mr. Duncan.
No, well, it depends if... Well, we could stay for another half an hour if you want.
No, that's fine. Well, you can, yes. Yes, it's been lovely today.
Okay.
And I'll see you with Mr. Duncan on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
When we will be tossing the pancakes.
Yes. See you then, Mr. Steve.
Bye.
I have a feeling Steve does not want to go. I think he wants to stay here all day, if I was honest with you. But of course, he will be very tired and he needs his lie down, I think so. It's almost time to say goodbye. It's almost time to say cheerio. But don't forget, as I said, we have an extra live stream on Tuesday. I am with you from 2 p.m. UK time. On Tuesday, we will be live in the kitchen and we are going to be making pancakes. I hope you will enjoy that. That is all we have time for. I hope you have had a good time. I hope you have enjoyed everything that has happened. And I will see you on Tuesday, 2 p.m. UK time. We will be together making pancakes. And until then, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Until the next time we meet here, ta-ta for now. Oh.